Hey, welcome back to my channel. My name is Meg and I love all things beauty and makeup. And today I thought it would be fun to play with a new to me brand that I discovered off of Amazon when I was just like looking through to see cosmetics and stuff. And I believe it's called Tintark or Tintark. I'm not 100% sure on the pronunciation, but I found a few products. I got an eyeshadow palette, highlighter, and also a blush palette, and I thought it'd be a lot of fun to come on here and play with them together. So if you're interested in exploring this brand with me, then keep on watching. So first I thought we would get into the all-in-one cheek palette. So this is the Heart Me More all-in-one cheek palette, and it has some blush, highlight, and bronzer. So that's the outer packaging, and then this is what the compact looks like. It does have a mirror, as you can see, and then we'll take this off. It's like the little plastic covering. Try to get the tape off. So there it is. So it looks like you get definitely two matte blushes. I'm not sure if these are both supposed to be highlighters or not. They're kind of shimmery, and then sort of like a shimmery bronze. I'm not too sure. I'll definitely insert some swatches about this. On Amazon, it doesn't like it has some information. It just basically it comes in three different like sort of color ranges. So this is the light one, and then also comes in a medium and a dark. It retailed for $11.89 Canadian. I think it's normally $13.99, but right now it's on a little bit of a discount and is available for like the Prime delivery if you have Prime, which is something I always appreciate. For more information, like it doesn't look like it has like individual shade names at all. Like on the back, it just sort of has some instructions and ingredients, and then same thing is on the unicarton as well. It just does mention that it's talc-free, cruelty-free, and vegan, so no animal testing, no animal-derived ingredients, no mineral oil, and all US and Euro approved colorants, environmentally friendly packaging. So that's nice. I hadn't really heard of this brand before, so when I saw a few different products on there, I was just definitely intrigued. I don't think we're going to go in with everything because I'm not going to use the highlighter from this because I have a separate highlighter I got from them that I'd rather play around with. But I think we are going to go in with the blush. I'm just trying to decide if I want to go with, I think we're going to go with this like lighter peachy one. So I'm just going to grab this is a blush brush, Luxie 534 Ingold Top Buffer it's called. And we're just gonna dip right in. The pan sizes aren't like huge, so if you, depending on the size brush you're using, it definitely can be a bit more challenging to fit in, but like they're not like teeny tiny either. Like this is a decent sized brush and I fit it in fine, so something to consider, and fairly pigmented. I tapped off my brush because it was getting a little bit of pick up in the pan. Just gonna try to move this wig back for a second so we can get that on. Ooh, that goes on really nicely. Not as like pigmented right off the bat as like I thought it was going to be like when I picked it up on the brush, but still like fairly pigmented. I do go in with blush with a fairly heavy hand though, so kind of keep that in mind. I do think if you're kind of careful with this, you can get a nice gentle flush from it and it's not going to be overwhelming, but I don't know, so far that looks like it's blended in really nicely. I am pleased with that, and I look forward to playing with some of the other shades as well. I almost wish, like, I think like my only like really criticism for it would be just because I don't really care about having like everything in one. I would almost just rather it be like an entirely all blush palette and get like 5 blushes, but it's still like beautiful. I think what you get is really nice, and I think for some people they're gonna love that everything is all together. So there we have the blush. I think it's really beautiful. I don't know if you'll be able to really like see, especially because whenever I go close with stuff, it goes out of focus, but there is like a good amount of like kick up in the pan, and sort of like kind of gone into the other pans as well. So if that's something that's going to bother you, just keep that in mind. You just might need to make sure that you're being extra gentle with it, but not something that really bothers me. So yeah. And yes, I blew on my makeup, but I'm the only one that uses it, so whatever. Next, we have the Vortex Highlighter. This was one where it is a like one highlighter with a few different, like I think it has 4 different shades in it. This is the inner packaging, and then that is the back. Just says Vortex Highlighter, and this just looked so sparkly and gorgeous. I don't even know if the camera is gonna do it justice, but this is why I really wanted to use this one instead of the one in the that cheek palette, just because those look nice, but I think they look a lot just more like gentle and satin, whereas this looks like it's going to be blinding, unless this is just like all over spray. That could be the case. That does happen a lot. But I'm really excited to play with this. What it says about this product is, oh, and also to mention too, it does come, like you can get their highlighters in individual shades as well. You don't have to get it in like this all-in-one. So this retails right now for $12.74 Canadian on, again, on Amazon. It does say was $14.99, which I think even at $14.99 isn't a half bad price, but I guess we'll have to see how it performs. And again, also, like I mentioned the price for this one, in my opinion so far, like that's a pretty reasonable, like good price for that. So I am happy with that. It does say that it is an ultra shimmery finish, lightweight and portable. Same thing, like talc-free, cruelty-free, vegan, no animal testing, no animal-derived ingredients, no mineral oil, all US and Euro approved colorants, environmentally friendly packaging. Yeah, that's good. Doesn't have a mirror, but I am fine with that. So taking this Melt Cosmetics highlighter brush, I don't know the number, I think I'm going to go in with like the more like white kind of pearly shade. Just gonna kind of run our brush across that. I'm just doing it like a little bit, just to, I feel like, yeah, like I feel like already I can tell like some of the sparkle on this was definitely overspray, but I just wanted to see if that would lift up if I kind of swiped my brush against it. But going directly in, here we go. I think it's like, yeah, like especially like looking in the monitor, I definitely think it has some shine to it. I actually really like the level of like glow this is giving off, because it definitely has like, it picks up the light and really does glow, but I don't feel like it's overtly sparkly. And I love a good sparkly highlight, don't get me wrong. But it's just nice to have something that's sort of on the in-between where it's definitely present, but it's not overpowering any looks. So something like that. And I am just kind of like layering it up a little bit. Some on the nose. Down the center of the face. Yeah, I really, really like that. I will very much be using this, and I don't feel like when I look forward that I'm seeing like a cast at all. So I'm just checking out in my mirror. So that's definitely nice. It can be hard. I find my struggle sometimes as being very fair skin is that highlights can easily have a cast, especially if they have any kind of like a shift or anything to them. So that's really nice. I look forward to using that more. Okay, lastly, we have the eyeshadow palette. So I got the Funfair. It says all attractions included, full ticket, admit one, but I think the palette itself is just called Funfair. Just really pretty outer packaging, and like that's like a sleeve to the palette. And then the palette itself has like the same packaging, just a little bit more vibrant and reflective. And then it opens up to where we have that. And then the palette itself opens up again, and you have a mirror on either side. And then, let me just try to tuck all this behind here. And then you have the two sides there. I'm going to take off the sticky parts. Here is a bit better of a look. The background's gold, so it makes it a little bit harder to show off the shades properly, I feel like. I'll try to bring it closer and hopefully it doesn't go too, hope it doesn't get too blurry. But there it is. So there's 18 shades total. We've got, it didn't say on like the Amazon site, but just counting it, I believe I counted 6 mattes, and then we have, I think it was 11 shimmers, which I think might sort of vary from like sort of satins to like more metallics. And then I believe this one right here, it very much does look like a pressed glitter, which I'm totally okay with, but if you hate pressed glitters, that might not be something that you're happy with about in this palette. All the other claims are like still the same from like their other products, so just like talc-free, cruelty-free, vegan, so on and so forth. It says it's premium ingredients and waterproof formula, ensures that your makeup stays put all day long. And this eyeshadow palette retails for $20.39 currently, Canadian on Amazon.ca. It does say that it was $23.99, so I don't know if there's just like a little bit of a discount kind of thing going on. I never really know how that stuff works. It feels like most of the time when you look on Amazon, half the stuff is always like slightly down from what it is. But yeah, that's what it says on there. That's just sort of what the palette looks like in like the listing. And I feel like it was pretty true to form. I think it's still as vibrant as it is in there. Maybe it looks slightly more vibrant in the photo, but I think it still looks really nice in person. And as of right now, it's got like a average 4.4 out of 5 stars with 30 reviews. So fairly decent reviews. So let's get into this and create a look and see what we think about it. Okay, so I think I figured out like kind of the colors I want to play with, and I didn't really notice till just now, and thought I'd point out that on one of the sides, I thought I saw a mirror on both sides, but apparently I wasn't looking. And on the one side, there's just all of the shade names, and then it even has like a little legend here with what they're called, so like the shades aren't on here. So I think it's nice that they do have that accessible right off the bat. I will say, like, I can already tell, like, I don't love this format of like the folding and stuff. It's just a little bit cumbersome for like holding up, but obviously if you're not like doing a video and trying to like show like what colors you're using, then it probably doesn't really matter. But I thought we would do something where I want to definitely like use this black as kind of like my deepest shade, and then I thought we would use like some of the matte blues, and then I really want to pull in this sort of like minty lime-ish kind of shimmer green, and then I also want to pull in like the pressed glitter because I just think that would be a lot of fun. So that's the plan, and I think we're going to do like halo eye style. Surprise, surprise. So to start off with, sorry, it's during the day, so if you can hear my kids in the background, my apologies. I'm going to pull in this Morphe JS10 brush, and we're going to go into the black, and we're just going to start placing that on the outer and inner corner. I do feel like I get like a bit of kick up from this, so I definitely recommend that if you're like me and you do tend to do your base makeup first, I do recommend to make sure you tap off the brush. And I think actually we're going to connect this and bring it all the way around. At first I was just going to have it on the inner and outer corner, but I think I want it to go like that. And then I'm just going to take this Morphe R41, sort of just like a pencil brush, and I think I'm going to first go into this blue shade here, which I forgot to mention, the black is called Bullseye, and then that blue that I'm going to use now is called Ferris Wheel. And then I think we're going to follow it up with the lighter blue, which is called Bubblegum Soda. Just so I don't have to lift it up again. I'm just going to take some of that and start going around. Super pigmented shades, like formula. So, very impressed with that. Kids were like yelling, so I stopped the video for a second to try to let them pass by. I think the palette possibly could have used like one more like deeper shade like close to the black, but I don't know, like I think it still works fine. So now I'm going to dip into that Bubblegum Soda, so like the light blue matte, which I'll have to see how they are on the eyes. Like I haven't done the swatches yet, so I don't know how they are side by side, but those two blue mattes like do look pretty similar. Like I feel like there could have been maybe a bit more difference. Like maybe that first blue I just used could have been a bit more navy, but you know, just details. I'm now using a BH Cosmetics. It just says it's number 3, but I don't, again, know from... I remember talking about the BH Cosmetics brushes. I don't know what sets they're from. And now we're going to go in with this just to try to buff out that first blue a bit. Blending nicely. Can't tell like if I'm getting like maybe a little bit of potential patchiness from this, but not too bad, I don't think. Just trying to, it's always hard with like when you are using blues though, like they don't, it's not a shade that's naturally going to blend out into your skin tone that well, so I'm just going to go back in with the previous blue, just try to re-intensify that a little bit. Trying to see how well stuff like layers together. I want to make sure that one shade doesn't just cause the other to completely blend away. But yeah, like I don't feel like there's a whole lot of difference with these blues. Like I feel like you could have gotten the effect of like the lighter blue with blending out this blue. So I don't know. Yeah, I'm just going back in with that first brush that we used with the black. No additional product, just what's left on the brush, and just also just trying to work with the shadow that's already laid down. And we're just trying to blend that out a little bit more. There is just enough of a difference in depth between like the black and that deepest blue that like there is a darker blue. Again, I haven't swatched it yet. It's definitely like a satin, so if you don't mind using like a satin in your crease and stuff, you could use that to help blend a bit. Actually, I'm going to, with this same brush, I'm going to dip into, so again, it's just this like deepest blue here, which is called Skelter. All right, so taking that on that same brush we had the black on, and I'm just going to see if I put that on like the very edge, see if it'll help blend that black and blue together a bit better, which I think it is helping. And then back in with the black. So there you go. I guess like it doesn't like, you know, yeah, it's not a matte, but we have achieved a better blend by utilizing that satin. So satins can be useful. I'm just taking a face brush, nothing on it. I just definitely had some fallout, so I want to try to get rid of that gently so it doesn't create blue streaks across my whole face. Next, we are going to pull in my NYX glitter glue. Who's surprised? And we're just going to grab a flat, rounded brush. I thought about like actually cutting the crease in that, but I don't feel like it. So we're going to start placing this fairly high up and to the side. Like that. And then we're going to go in with this green shade I'd mentioned, which is Apple Bobbing. And I'm going to go directly in with that same brush. Mix that nicely on there. And we're just going to put that on the majority of the lid. I'm not bringing it like right up to the center because we're going to put the glitter. But I want to make sure it's covering the bottom completely as a bit of a base. And then it's to the sides. And then flipping that brush over, we're going to dip into the glitter, which is 17 Milk Bottle Toss. Very like flaky shade. Picked up relatively okay on a brush, but I'm replacing that at like the very top. Definitely not like the easiest shade to get like any kind of degree of like precision with, just because it is so piecey and flaky. If you're someone that's nervous about like glitters on the eye and stuff like that, like you might want to avoid this shade just because it's, like I said, quite piecey for that. And then we're going to go back in with that first brush that we used the black on and just like a little bit of product. And we're just going to use that to just make sure that this blends together nicely. I'm going to go back in with a little bit of that green shimmer. I think I kind of lost it down there a bit. And the black. All right, that's it so far. I think that's a lot of fun. So let's go repeat this on the other eye. I think I'm definitely going to bring the black down on the lower lash line. I'm not sure if we're going to try to add another color or not, but we'll catch the other eye up and then we'll figure that out. Both eyes cut up. I used some Melt Cosmetics gel liner in Onyx just for the waterline and such. And we're going to go back in with that very first brush and a little bit more of that bullseye shade, the black. And we're just going to put that on the lower lash line. I'm trying to remember to tap off my brush because definitely ran into some kick up. Just gonna do this on both eyes while we're here. Went a little bit further down with that one than I meant to, so I guess we'll match that on the other side. Alright, and then we're going to go in with a little bit more of that like mid-tone blue, like the darkest blue matte. And I'm just going to like run that directly along the black, just about halfway across the lower lash line. Like that, and then I thought it would be fun to put a little bit of the glitter on the lower lash line. So taking that same brush, just going from the inner corner into the lower lash line. The brush might be a bit big for this, but whatever, we're doing it now, so. Fun. Probably could have put some glitter glue here to make it a little bit easier to lay this down, but oh well. All right, hopefully you can see that, but something like that. I'm gonna go just kind of finish off the eyes with like some mascara, probably some lashes too, because this is a louder look, so I think it could support lashes. And I'll also throw something on the lips. I don't think I remember them having any lip products. Like I guess they had like lip plumper. And then they had like sort of just like kind of multi-use sticks, but I don't really like using that kind of stuff for my lips, so I didn't get a lip product from them. So that's it for products from the brand. So we'll just come back with a finished look and just kind of recap our thoughts on the products we used today. Okay, we're all finished. This is the final look, and I really love how it turned out. I think it's a lot of fun, just nice and colorful, which is exactly my kind of style. To finish off the look, I went on with some Ioni lashes. I don't know the style. And then this matte lipstick from Melt Cosmetics in the shade Zaddy. It's just a super light nude. Goes with just about any look. It's a default color for me. I decided just not to put on any kind of lip liner. I just didn't feel like it, so. But yeah, so we used 3 products today. So again, it's the Heart Me More cheek palette, and this is in the light version. The Vortex Highlighter kind of palette, and also the Funfair eyeshadow palette. I actually never checked, like, is it actually called? It's called a makeup palette, and they probably do that because I'm guessing there's some pigments, especially like that pressed glitter, that aren't recommended for being around the eye, so they can't actually call it an eyeshadow palette, and that's pretty normal in the makeup world. Lots of companies don't call their palettes like their eyeshadow palettes, because there's pigments that aren't recommended for use around the eye, but maybe like, you know, over in the UK or anything like that, like in Europe, they do. So I don't know, take that as you will. Going in each product, first with the cheek palette. I really liked this. Again, my only thing would be I would love it if it was just all blushes and like no bronzer. Like I guess you could use this as like a bronzy kind of blush, which is probably how I'll use it. I don't really care about these 2 highlights. They're not shades that I'd reach for a lot, and when I reach for like blushes, like I'm reaching for blush and I'm reaching somewhere else for highlighter, and that's how I function. So having it all in one really isn't like a kind of bonus for me, but they are really pretty and I will use them. It's just wouldn't be my like go-to way of having this set up. I again would prefer it to be just a blush palette. The highlighter, really beautiful. I'm definitely can't wait to try the other shades on my face, and then I'm really interested to try some of their other shades that they have. They have some really beautiful looking individuals that I think are different from what we have in here. And I think that would be a lot of fun to try, but so far I really like that. Like it's, as you can see, it leaves a really nice glow on the face. And then we have the Funfair palette. So again, this is what it looks like. I had so much fun creating this look with this palette. I wouldn't say like, you know, it's like the highest quality of shadow, like, you know, that I've ever used, but like, you know, stuff blended, I could work it together. I think I have to play with it a little bit more. Like, you know, I also, with my color choice, I went from using like a black to going with like the blues, and blues already aren't really easy colors, I think, to formulate. Like I do think a lot of brands do have it down, so it's not like it's impossible like maybe it used to be, but I think when you're going with a more affordable brand, you know, there's a chance that shades like the blues and the purples might not be as blendable as with you know, stuff that's just of a higher price point. So it just is what it is, but I still think that they are beautiful. I just put this on, so like who knows about like kind of wear. Like I don't know if this is going to just disappear from my eyes in an hour. So we'll see, but so far it's really nice. I think the pigmentation is beautiful. I think the shimmer went on really nice. I really liked the added glitter. It just added a little fun kind of finesse to the look, and it was nice having it right there in the palette. Even when it comes to pressed glitters, like is it the most amazing one I've ever used? No, but I think it's really pretty, and I think it did what it came to do. So I'm happy with that. So, you know, would I recommend that you try these? Like, if you liked the colors, I definitely think that they could be worth trying. They had some other eyeshadow palettes. They had a rainbow one. They had like more kind of like pastel-y kind of one that I think was like ice cream themed. I think that these could be a lot of fun to explore, especially if you're looking for something that, one, is like easily accessible. Like having these available for Prime shipping on Amazon.ca, it's just really awesome to have that kind of availability, just because aside from like Sephora and the drugstore, at least for, you know, I find in Canada, I don't really have access to a lot of different options when it comes to where I buy my makeup. Like we don't have Ulta here, and then a lot of the indie brands are from like out of country, so you're having to like pay a premium for them. So it can be limiting. So it's really nice to explore some different options. So if you were looking to try to find some relatively affordable, like, you know, like the palette was still 20 bucks, so you know, that's not super cheap, but relatively affordable products, and, you know, that were fun to use, and so far I think performed well. Like this blush and the highlight, I think, you know, I don't know, like they might even be like the top things for me from this, but I also really, you know, did enjoy creating this eye look, so I had to play with this more, but I liked this. I just really want to play with more of the shades though and really get a better feel for it, and maybe like play with something that blends out a little bit easier than a blue does. So anyways, those are my kind of final thoughts first impression wise. If you liked this video, I'd love it if you gave it a thumbs up, leave a comment down below, subscribe if you're not already subscribed. I'd love to have you stick around for more. Also, don't forget to check me out on my other socials, Spooky Mama Glam on Instagram and TikTok. I'm especially more present on Instagram, posting on there most days. And yeah, I just had a lot of fun doing this. You know, if you like videos like this, you know, let me know. I really have fun trying to do some different things, try some new products rather than just simply reviewing like a new eyeshadow palette from an indie brand. Like I love doing that, but I'm not going to be doing as much of that just because I really am trying to spend less money this year, which isn't going to really seem like I am based off videos coming up. But anyways, I hope you liked this, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye!